Hey guys, I'm Andrea the artist and you are watching Viewfinder. So first of all, I'm a light. I like to inspire people. That's like my fundamental base. But I was born in Austin, Texas, moved to Houston when I was 8, lived all around Houston. But I graduated from Dulles High School in Sugar Land, Texas. Then I went to Texas A&M University, had my own life experiences there, but I graduated in 2018. So now I'm a middle school art teacher. This is my 2nd year as a teacher. And even why I'm teaching now is just because when I was graduating, you know, I studied construction management, architecture, but it was just like, I don't want to do anything except for art. Like I just couldn't come up with words other than art. So I went and worked in an art studio, public art studio, and did murals around Houston. I got to design some things. It was a mosaic studio. So we did like a lot of really cool stuff. But at the end of the day, I realized like, although I love art, art is my passion, it's not my main passion. My real passion is connecting with people, helping people see themselves, inspire others, like I said earlier. And so it was just like, I don't want to be behind these 4 walls and not get to actually have an impact in somebody's life directly. And so I feel like teaching is the perfect way for me to stay in art. Like literally, I'm having to learn more stuff that I don't know so that I can teach. So it's pushing me as an artist, but it also gives me the opportunity to really connect with actual human beings, really create an actual impact. I studied construction science for 2 years. I loved it, was getting straight A's, a part of organizations and all that. But I got on this internship and I was absolutely miserable. I was making great money, you know, it was all beautiful. But I was the only girl on site. I was probably the only black person on site. But I've always been in situations where I'm the only black person, so that didn't really bother me. But just being there showed me how much that is not me. Like, you know, I'm chasing this 90,000 a year salary, like all these things, but this is not me. The only reason I wasn't pursuing art in college is because people told me that you can't make a living off of art. So long story short, I was on this internship, you know, making great money, but I was miserable. And of course, everybody else, my family around me are just saying, stick with it, you know, you're doing so good, because it was really a good position to be in, but it wasn't my position to be in. And I told myself, like, I'm not selling my soul for money. I refuse. I'm gonna be the one 50 years later that has to deal with the decisions that I am making. And so, didn't exactly go to art. I changed my major to anthropology just so I could enjoy school, you know, and not have to do whatever hard stuff. But after that semester, or during that semester, I felt like school was becoming a distraction because I was realizing what I was running away from. I was realizing that I was not pursuing my truth because I didn't believe in myself. I decided I was gonna drop out of college. So 4 weeks before exams, I stopped going. I didn't take any of them. I dropped my GPA from a 3.6 to a 2.9. I was just like done. I'm like, I'm done with school, you know? And this is completely unexpected for me, like, because I am all about school. You know, I got good grades, I know how to study, but I just realized like, I don't need a degree to pursue the life that I want to live. Like, to inspire people, to write books, to have a podcast, to create art, what degree do I need for that? But on the last day to register, I went back to school because, you know, like my mom was just like in shambles because she was really the one supporting my life at that point. So I went back to school and I'm glad I did because I ended up getting back into the College of Architecture as university studies, and then I picked up an art minor. And so they had the traditional route or the new, you know, digital media. So I did digital. So did photography, graphic design, Illustrator, like Photoshop, all that. So I'm very grateful. And then on top of that, I got to do my I studied abroad in Italy. So that was literally like art museums every single day. And so I'm always the type of person where when I'm going through a challenge, I know it's going to bring me closer to where I'm supposed to be. And so messing up my GPA, about to drop out of college, it could look bad to a lot of people, but I saw that as my soul putting an immediate halt because I was gonna go fast down this route, a good route, but not the right route. I mean, faith is a big part of my journey as well. I'm not religious, I grew up very religious, but when you know that no matter where you are, you're on the way to where you need to be, when you know that no matter what is what physically is being shown to you that you're good, you can take that risk. You know, you can take that risk to say, I know what I'm doing right now looks stupid. I'm turning away this, you know, surefire salary route, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still 4 years later. I am where I manifested this 4 years ago. Or, you know, like, I'm seeing the fruits of all the work, of all the fear that I had to face, all of those decisions I had to make on my own to stand up in my purpose. You know, because it's not easy to stay aligned in your purpose. It's not easy to chase your dreams because there's always resistance. You're not always going to believe in yourself. You're not going to realize that you have all these invisible blocks, you know, but it's the journey, you know, so it's beautiful. I love it. My dad said when I was a baby, he would wake up and I'm in the kitchen. I have all the pots and pans and his drumsticks lined up in geometric shapes. Like my godmother, she has a popsicle house that I made when I was like 5. But like I said, from as far as I can remember back, art has been my focus. My dad and that side of the family, they're musicians. So they're all music, but I didn't grow up in the house with him. And so I feel like my artistry came through the visual side. But like I said, my kindergarten books, like drawings that, I don't know when it set in because I really do feel like it's a part of my purpose. And even beyond the visual side of art, because art is it's a mental, it's the way you see the world. You know, it's about your vision. Although I feel like I'm bigger than just the visual side of art. I write, I like to sing, I like to design, you know, interior spaces. Like art comes out in a lot of different ways. And so everything about me is art. I'm more focused on acrylic painting, but I do all mediums. When it comes to chalk pastels, graphite, charcoal, photography, digital painting, the paints, watercolor, oil paint, like I've practiced all of them, and so I can use anything. Color pencils. Now I kind of focus more towards acrylics because they're quicker, you know, they dry fast and you can consistently work. Color pencils take forever. That's layers. Like I recently just did a commission in chalk pastels, and it felt really good because I actually really enjoy them. You get to smear your finger and do all that. So I can do anything, but I primarily stick with acrylics. My passion is really just in regular, like a pen, because although I'm very skilled at shading and all that, it's very anxiety provoking. Literally, I'm working on a commission right now with, you know, 4 ladies, and it's just like, even though I know time and time after again, whenever I'm done with something that looks really good, that process is very meticulous. Because I'm looking at all the shades, the highlights, like I'm interpreting all this visual information so that I can then transfer it onto a canvas. And so I was pretty much raised, you know, as far as my art teachers, raised in realism. And so that's why I feel like I'm very good at that. But these past couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years, I've been moving more towards abstraction. And I used to be the type of artist that said abstract art is not real art because it doesn't take any skill. Like you can literally but I have a pattern that's really in all of my work, and it's like the pattern that's in our skin and the leaves. It just comes out. And so I like really just having a pencil or a pen and just being able to free flow. My artwork I make for me. Like, yes, I do commissions, but I just recently maybe sold something that I've done just my own vision. But my art is what I decorate my apartment with. My art is what I like to see. You know, like it empowers me. My journey with art is very different because I don't feel like I do it to make money because, again, I do it for me. Art is what heals me. Art, like my paintings, they speak to me. I feel like I use my art as manifestation tools as well because I'm pouring certain energy into it. I don't feel like I paint from a depressed or a painful place. Although I do have one specific painting and it's called Break Apart. And the vision I got from it came from the pain in me wanting to have a voice. And in the painting, it's like red underneath and then yellow and blue, but it's just like the blood is underneath. That's the pain. But it wants to break up and speak. And so, you know, like I think each one of my paintings kind of come from their own places. I can't say, you know, some of them come from a very spiritual place. Some of them come from just wanting to put colors together and try something new. But Nature's Chaos is really the first abstract painting that I did before. So it's like a swirl on a green canvas and it's a lot of little lines. But in that, I had to push myself to do simple things. because like I said, I've been doing realism, so I'm always trying to get something from what I'm looking at. But Nature's Chaos was that first painting that I kind of pulled from my mind and organically decided what was going to go where. Vibrant Chaos is like a layer of yellow lines underneath a layer of orange, underneath a layer of red, underneath a layer of blue, and then there's like black containing it. And to me, it's like the black represents our skin or our bodies, not the color, but just the surface. But there's so much vibrance underneath. In my paintings, sometimes they can take 2 weeks, sometimes they could take 2 months, 10 months. Vibrant Chaos probably took me like 10 months just because I work in spurts. I might do a lot at once, and then I don't work on it for weeks because I'm just staring at it. I actually have this blue self-portrait that I did as a sophomore in high school, and I still have it. It was chalk pastels, and my colors are all blue. I'm all blue, and it's just so much emotion in that. Even when I still look at it, blue is my favorite color, but I don't even think I knew it at that point, you know. But I love doing self-portraits. I'm actually wanting to get back into that. I low-key want to stop doing commissions, but they're helping me reach certain financial goals, so I'm like, okay, I gotta do what I gotta do. But I really want to get back into like painting me for me. There's this painting, it's called Green Eyes, and it was when I did it, it was the biggest painting I had done at that time. It was like a 36 by 40. My face, it's a big picture of my face, and I'm split into 4 different colors. And really that painting was for me to see myself as the God that I was, as the creative master that I am. This kind of goes into like another tangent, but I grew up Christian and I basically started being Christian in 2017. But I was still kind of, at this time, I think I did this in 2016 or 2017. And so long story short, I had like turned back Christian for a little bit. And when I did, I saw that as demonic. I saw my painting, that portrayal of myself, as a bad thing. I literally took a knife, tore it, and threw it away. So regret it. So I threw it, and I'm a big journaler too. I had a journal, and at that time I was going through my yoga teacher training. I threw it away too, and I'm just like, dang, like I need that now. When it comes to issues like racism, and inequality, I'm very passionate, and there's something dark in me. Like I love reading about slavery and just like all the bad things that happen to people. I don't know why, but my solution to this, and I don't even want to say it out loud because it's just like completely extreme. It's so extreme that I know I'm not going to do that, right? And so at the same time, when I was about to drop out of college and everything, really what started my spiritual journey to where I am now was the frustration and the hopelessness of feeling like this system, like what can you do? Like when you realize that a lot of people are subconsciously replaying these stereotypes and the negative messages, it's just like, for me, I realized the solution is not trying to fix something outside, because really the main issue is how we see ourselves. We have internalized these degrading messages, and we are manifesting them. Like when I went to A&M, I said that I was going to prove that I was more than the average black woman. What the hell is the average black woman? And so it's like, as a people, and not just black people, but minorities in general, and even white people, like we will not say that we hate ourselves, but if we looked at what we listen to, if we looked at how we treat ourselves, treat the people around us, we hate ourselves. We see ourselves as ratchet, lazy, dumb, all these things, but we wouldn't directly say it, and that's where they win, because it's in our subconscious minds. And so I would say what's going on now, it's not new, you know? And so it's just like, I felt like I've dealt with my anger and emotions those 3 years ago, and I recognize for myself, my solution is helping other people become aware of their internal power, of their ability to manifest their own reality regardless of what's going on outside. And of course, like, life is life, so life sucks sometimes. You can't control everything, but like my approach to everything is just recognizing my responsibility for my internal power. And I know that with how passionate I am, if I focus on what's going on right now around us, I will defeat myself, and then all the people that need the light that I have to bring will be at a disservice because I'm distracted. And so I don't really allow, and I know, you know, it might seem insensitive at times because I really do not feel certain things. I just don't, because I've already made that decision that the light inside of me is what's going to dominate anything outside of me. And so just helping other people realize that it's kind of how my focus is. And so, you know, in a way it does influence my work, because I feel like, of course, a combination of my writing, I want to write, you know, speak, and everything that I do, I feel like it's all towards inspiring other people to become more aware of themselves. And not just like, oh, you're cool, you know, you're talented. Because no, like really realizing, like when you close your eyes, the self that is not Andrea, you know, or the self that is not Nathan, like your actual self. Like the energy that is literally breathing through your body, allowing me to speak and connect with you. The energy that is living through both of us, and it even has us in this room right now. That's where the focus should be. Because when you're aligned with that, you're in the right place, right time, right people. Doesn't mean you're not going to go through hard stuff, but you have the solution for every single thing that you need, you know? And so that's what I choose to stay grounded in. I think we get sad, and I get it, we're humans, but it's just like, life is about the ups and the downs. It's a balance. Life sucks. Like, especially when you got an adult, like life really does suck. But on the other side of that, life is also beautiful, because through the sucky times, they mold you and build you. If you allow them to, they can build you into great things, you know? And so I feel like life is about what you choose to focus on, what you choose to make it. Or I went through a stage where there was so much like a lack of belief in myself, you know, and I downplayed myself a lot. And I think I know where it comes from, but I feel like, you know, there might be more, but it's just like, I don't really see the value in my art as much as other people see it. Like, people think that my stuff is done, and I'm just like, girl, do you see that? And so it's just like, I'm so overcritical, you know, like I'm very critical, not just of my art, but of myself. And so I'm going through the process of holding myself back from releasing. Like I've been wanting to release this song to people, or multiple songs. Nobody knows that I make music, by the way. Like I have so much stuff on my computer, and if people know me, then they've heard some things maybe, but it's just like I've held myself back from releasing these things because of my fears. And so my fears are my, you know, the real blocks, which I've come to be aware of. And I don't see fear as a bad thing. It's just like, all right, like what's up, what's popping, because those fears are a part of me. Trust yourself, and because it's a message before trusting yourself. It's just like, recognize the power that's in you. Realize that you're not just what other people see. Like right now, you talking to me, I can't see your thoughts. I can't see your emotions. I can't see, you could be like, oh my God, with this girl, shut up. But I have no idea. And so it's just like, on the flip side, nobody knows what's going on inside of you but you. Everybody can diagnose you from the outside. Everybody else can tell you what you need. But at the end of the day, you are the only person responsible for your internal environment. Your internal environment is what your external is reflecting. And so, again, like I feel like the solution to everything is recognizing that it's in here. However you're feeling inside is influencing how you respond to what life throws into you. If you are not understanding and not grounded in your power, then anything can knock you off balance. You're never grounded. And I've been there, you know? I struggled with loneliness. I was depressed, didn't even know I was depressed. But it's just like, and even now, sometimes when I get sad and I might be crying about something, I know in the back of my head, I'm like, go ahead, cry, baby, you good. It's all good. So it's just like, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to not know, but just know beyond all that. And you can only know this for yourself when you tap into that into you. I can tell you this all day, but it's just like, get in touch, close your eyes, get silent, get balanced, and realize the God that's inside of you, because that's really what matters. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. Because you can get caught up in so much other stuff when the solution is already inside of you.